Hey guys, I thought I'd come on here tonight and talk about the rapture because it's something that we are constantly talking about and thinking about, but I feel like that it's really close, and so that's why I thought I'd mention a couple of things. I was thinking about how in the Bible it always seems like that there's things that foreshadow things to come, and for example, like when the angel of the Lord appeared before the shepherds to announce that Jesus was born and had come to earth the first time. It's not like that he appeared, in front of kings and palaces and, important people, so to speak. He appeared in front of just normal regular people. I mean, people who were guarding their flocks at night, the shepherds. And I think that that's appropriate, like for the time that we're in too, because many of us that it's not like that we went necessarily to seminary or any of that kind of thing. I think some of us have, but um, the rest of us, we're just normal people, and we just love Jesus, and we know that He's returning, and we've been led to know these things, and again, it seems like that. It's not the important, like as the world would see. If we were of the world would love its own, right? But he chose us out of this world, and so I think it's appropriate. And then also, like with, as we call them, the wise men or the kings, that were led to know these things were Gentiles. I mean, they later appeared at Herod's castle and to the palace and said, like, where is your king of the Jews? We've seen his sign in the stars and things like this. But um, it was the Gentiles calling out to the Jews, like, don't you all know, we've seen his signs. We know that he's coming. We know he's here, like, and I suppose that that's what we're doing now as the Gentile church, still, trying to reach out and let the world know, that he's coming back, and that he is going to gather his church in the rapture, and that soon that we will be gone, and that these things will be going on, as far as the 7 year tribulation. It will be the time of Jacob's trouble. And so I was thinking about some other things that I had been told over the years, that um, at the time they didn't make as much sense to me. Like I was in my 20s, for example, and I had my husband's grandmother say to me, I'm not going to be here very much longer, just out of the blue one day. And it was in a July. And I said, well, how do you know? And she said, well, you just know. And she was 85, 86 years old when she was telling me this. And I was the only one that she told. She didn't tell, her own children or grandchildren, and obviously I married into the family. But she told me, and I said, well, why are you telling me? And she said, well, I want to make sure you get your husband here for Christmas. And I'm like, okay, I'll make sure of that. And because they had lived, like, a little bit of ways from where we are. And then she said, also, I worry about Mary. And Mary was her youngest daughter that lived with her, and she had lost the love of her life when she was really young, and so she had kind of grieved herself to death almost over him, and she died a fairly young death. I mean, she was only 47, and so she had lived with her mother since she got out of high school. She just never left home and never tried to love again or anything after her fiance was, I believe he was killed in a car accident, is what had happened to him. But she said, I worry about her. I said, well, don't worry about her. I said, well, we'll take care of Mary. Of course we will. And she can live with us. And I mean, like, I'll make sure of it. And she kind of looked at me kind of hard, and she goes, okay, then. And sure enough, Christmas came and went, and then it was on Valentine's Day. It was my mother's birthday, which is on Valentine's Day, that she got up to put another log on the fire, and to and she fell over, and it was a massive coronary, and really I don't think that anyone had known that she even had a bad heart. But at that age, of course, she was, nearly 90, but and she was gone, and so she knew that she was leaving, and I had a couple of more people over the years tell me the same thing. And of course, it's not as strange as it is the first time, when a believer tells you, because the ones who always told me always loved God and knew Him, and were very close with their relationship with Jesus. And and they were led to know these things. I don't think everyone knows, but I believe that some of us are led to know these things, and that's why I'm telling you guys this right now, is because that's what we know. We know we're leaving, and so we're saying goodbye. For those who are listening right now, of our friends and family that won't listen, and maybe the ones who are not accepting of the Lord and don't really understand our relationship with Jesus, we're telling them goodbye if they're only listening now. So um, I remember another person that I was really close to. She was an older lady. She had said that she had to be gone before the 15th and that she would be leaving. And that was in a dream. And she had had a heart attack in August. Um, and every month that went by, I just thought, okay, the 15th is come and gone, so we're okay now. And sure enough, she left at 5 minutes after midnight, guys. She died on my birthday, and my birthday's April the 12th, and so indeed, she was gone by the 15th, and just like the dream had said. And we were at a train station. It looked something like Grand Central, except it looked old timey, like it was. And she was carrying a suitcase, and she looked young and vibrant. And she was like, "Oh, I've got to go. I got to go. I got to be out of here by the 15th." And I said, "Oh, can I go with you?" And she goes, "No, you can't go now, but I'll see you. Like that. Don't forget me." And how could you forget her? And she was like a really really cool person, and plus I mean, somebody that leaves on your birthday, you're going to remember them. I mean, it's almost like a shout out, like, "Hey Kim, you better not forget me. We're going to be meeting up again one of these days." But anyway, I just thought I'd mention those things to you, because I know a lot of you guys are feeling the same way, and I know it's frustrating, and letting people know who we know so adamantly, and we know so wholeheartedly that we are leaving, and that these things are not myths that are in the Bible, that every word of that Bible is true, and that Jesus lives, and that he died and was buried and rose on the third day, and he became sin so that we could become the righteousness of God. Praise his holy name forever, guys. And I love you all, and we'll talk soon.